Good afternoon for all of those of you tuning in today. Thanks for joining us. And today's the day. Second video of the channel. We're reviewing an in-depth review of my 2014 Shelby GT500. Just got the car. If you want to check that last upload, it's the first video I posted. And we're doing a full review of this car, guys. Give you impressions, what it's like to drive it, some specs about the car. So let's jump right into it. I'm really excited to share this car with you guys today. So we got the rundown here for you. This is a 2014 Shelby GT500. This is my absolute dream car. I got my favorite color combo here. We got the deep impact blue with the white stripes all the way over the top of the hood and down the back. I'll do the rundown for you guys. We'll just go over the important stuff. Nothing really crazy to cover about the non-necessities. But 13 and 14 here, all the designs are the same. Very little few differences, if any. You got the new headlights for 13 and 14 there, an open grille for letting more air into cool the engine. In fact, you got a direct path right here that goes into your intake separate from over here. Yeah, really nice front fascia here for the redesign. You got your heat extractor up front on the hood, let out some of that hot air, and a really nice front splitter. Comes in two pieces, so you have your standard one here, and then this clips on. See the separation? You have three pieces. So you have this single piece, a front, and two sides. So really aggressive front end, and I just absolutely love this car. Aesthetically, performance-wise, it's just overall just a great car. Onto the side here, you got 19s up front. These are 265 in the front here. You got the Shelby badge, like you saw on the front grille, rocker stripes, GT500 all the way back. I think it really flows well with the stripes on the top here for you. Some people take them off, same with the stripe deletes on top, but I had to have the stripes for this car too. So when you get back to the rear, these are 285s and 20s in the back, SVT. These are the performance pack wheels, by the way. So this car is spec'd exactly how I wanted it to. I had to have the stripes on the top. You can get a glass roof. I didn't want that. I like the flow over the top roof that's not broken up by a glass roof. So it has that. It has the performance pack, which is the wheels you see down here, not the base model, and the track pack. That gets you an oil cooler, a trans cooler, and a rear diff cooler. Let's head on to the back now here, and this has some of my favorite taillights of any newer Mustang. So you have three taillights on this side, three on this side. This does the cool loading screen things whenever you put your turn signal on. And you have Shelby across the back lettering here, the badge right there on the fake gas cap. Very nice ducktail spoiler, not too crazy over the top, just a nice flow to the back end. For 13 and 14 here, they did a new body paint to match the back bumper here. 2010 through 12, this was plastic. Now they did the body paint match, which looks a lot cleaner. Quad tips standard for the first time, 13 and 14, with a nice rear diffuser here. The only gripe I have is that after 2014, 2015 was the redesign of the Mustang, and they all got standard backup cameras. So a little bit of pain in the butt that this doesn't have a backup camera standard, but I'll probably get some sort of like license plate bracket one or something, just to be extra careful, especially with a car like this. But yeah, just give you a full walk around here, just the summary of it. Now let's pop the hood. Actually, I want to show you what's underneath there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the beast under the hood. This is a 5.8 supercharged V8. So the supercharger itself is about, I think it's a 2.3 liter supercharger. Everything is all stock under the hood, with the exception of my first modification. This is a JLT catch can. Just helps from oil and sludge getting back into the supercharger. Helps with longevity and future maintenance that you might have to do down the road. Just helps the motor and supercharger hold up a lot longer. So what I got now for you, a couple stats on the car. This car stock, nothing is done to it other than the JLT. 662 crank horsepower and 631 pound-feet of torque. So that is phenomenal. Remember, this car came out in 2013. That's before the second gen ZL1, the Corvette ZR1, the Hellcats. This really helps, you know, with the horsepower wars. You just had the first ZR1 in 2010, which had 640, 635, and this beat by about 20-25 horsepower. So think about that, a Mustang having more horsepower than the top trim level Corvette at the time. So pretty crazy here. You have the torque right away, so it doesn't really feel like it's lacking. It doesn't punch you in the face right away, but the torque really builds up gradually, and at low RPMs, especially with the blower, really helps get into the power a lot sooner than if it was a non-supercharged all motor. All right, now I'm going to show you the interior, guys. I mean, it's nothing too special because it's an outdated interior. No, it's not like anything like the new ones, but it's still, at least for my taste, it's just fine. You have your speakers right here on the doors. You have a little bit of leather here on the armrest and a soft touched armrest here, so not too bad. A chrome door handle, which is nice. This is plastic, you know, not great, but that's not really the reason you buy the car anyway. This has the optional Recaro bucket seats, which I also wanted to have in addition to the track pack and performance package, so I'm really happy. These, now they look very aggressive, but they are very comfortable. They're not gonna squeeze you and make you uncomfortable. These seats are very tolerable, not uncomfortable in the slightest bit, still have plenty of room. And here's your SVT on the door sill here, and here's the back too. Nothing too crazy, you're not gonna spend a lot of time back there, but decent room for a smaller person. Better visibility if you fold down the headrests for looking out the rearview mirror, but that's about it for that. Now, stepping in here, let's see how well you guys can see that. So red line, the speedometer goes up to 220. This car's got about 205. Top speed is what Ford says, and a red line of about 7,000. Very nice steering wheel, leather on the top. You got the Alcantara grips inserts here and there, and overall I think it's a nice wheel. The big thing, these only came with a 6-speed manual, so that's definitely a win-win. And this is Ford's stock shifter. It's very short for not being aftermarket. So this is first, this is second. See how second, it almost looks like it's in neutral. Here's fourth. It's just crazy. Very short throws. Feels very mechanical, but pretty precise and accurate. And there's our clutch down here. And this has navigation, which I didn't really have to have, but the fact that it came with it just means it's more well optioned. Let's get you guys, I'm going to start up the car and then we'll get an exhaust clip for you guys. And grab the keys. The screen right there, that's pretty cool. Gotta love that. Okay guys, well that's a short, you know, interior and exterior, you know, walk around. Just going over basically the important stuff here. So let's actually do some driving now, give you my impressions of what it's like to drive this car, and we'll get some exhaust clips too on the outside of the car. So let's go ahead and hit the road. So like I said guys, we're leaving the parking lot now. Nice and snug in the Recaros. My shoulders aren't pinched together and leaning me forward. I can relax. Very comfortable compared to the more aggressive aftermarket and stock Recaro seats and other aftermarket bucket seats, to be honest with you. The first thing you kind of notice when you're not paying attention to driving, just looking out in front of you, very good visibility for what the car is, a coupe, you know, big windshield. And like I said, if you fold down the two headrests behind me, you got good visibility behind you too. It's got a heavier clutch. It's not too bad. My only really nitpick about this car is the bite point. You have to let it out past halfway, near the very top of letting go of the clutch to where it grabs. So that's a little, you know, annoying, but you get used to it pretty quick. So other than that, the car is very easy to drive. It basically drives itself. You got so much horsepower. You just need very little throttle implications, and you know, as soon as you start, you know, really getting on a little bit, the blower comes on and you don't feel like you have to wind it out to really feel the power, which is nice. Another thing, this car has, it's the track pack. Now for track packs for 2011 and 12 GT500s, they got 373s. This, no matter what you get, track pack or not, you still get 331s. So you get longer gears, and I can understand that, especially since we have some plans for this car down the road. The longer gears, you're not shifting as much. So that's kind of nice. So with the car with longer or shorter gears, you'd be shifting a lot more. You'd be riding around in 4 and 5. And for this car, you're really only shifting a couple times riding around town. Sometimes you're only in 3rd, and if your speed's up a little bit more, maybe 4th. So 5 and 6 are your highway gears. But yeah, not a lot of shifting with this car, which, you know, there is a negative to that too. Is you know, you can't always, you know, row through the gears as much as you want to. So you have to kind of pick and choose where you do that. Whereas, you know, 1, 2, and, you know, a little bit of 3, and then you're already going pretty fast. But it drives great. Now, one thing I didn't really explain, which I'll throw up on the screen here too as I talk about it, with the track pack, you have shocks that you can adjust the settings here with my finger. You have launch control, you have a suspension that's normal or stiff, and then you can control the steering, which probably doesn't relate too much to the suspension feel, but you can do a normal, stiff, or comfort for suspension feel, which is nice too, for steering, I mean. It rides really good though for being a performance car, and it doesn't have the magnetic ride. This is before that time, so it still rides pretty good. But yeah, it's a very easy car to drive. The shifter, it's a little notchy, but once it warms up, it gets pretty smooth. And we may even do an aftermarket shifter at some point, but it's a very easy car to drive. The exhaust is not too loud, but at least for my taste, you know, we're gonna fix that pretty quick. All right, so we're coming up on a straightaway here. I'm gonna give you guys what it's like to do a pull in this car. This car is a great combination of engine sound, exhaust, and supercharger whine. So, get a little bit farther up here. If we're able to do a 3rd gear, we'll start out with 3rd first, and then maybe we'll do a 2nd gear. And I want to get some exhaust loops for you outside of the car too, so we'll throw the GoPro on the back in the 2nd gear. All right, so this is 3rd gear, and we're at about 2,500 RPMs, and let's roll into it. Spinnies. Whoa! Woo! It's a little cold out today, about 40 degrees, so not a lot of traction. Man, this thing is fast. So Ford claims that this does 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds, and the quarter mile at about 11.5. I think 11.6 approximately. So even with the longer gears, you know, this thing moves for sure. All right, we're in 2nd gear. We spun in 3rd, so I'm gonna have to roll into 2nd now. Get on it a little bit, you know, before you're going too fast. You know, top of 3rd, you're going fast. Now let's throw the GoPro on the back a little bit, and we'll get some exterior shots of the exhaust so you can hear what it sounds like. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this review video. I hope you enjoyed the GT500 so far. Really excited to take you through the process of what we're going to be doing with the car in the next couple months and this year. You know, collaborating with some more car content creators and this channel, Lifting and Shifting, where you know, I'm combining the two things that I like to do best for my hobbies outside of work. So we're going to drop some workout content and nutrition for you also as well. So if that's something you'd be interested in, just check in weekly. We're going to do weekly uploads. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll do a little bit more driving. But other than that, as always, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed, and look forward to seeing you next video with more content.